Consistency is usually sold as a straight line, but for most of us, it is a volatile roller coaster. When you compound a strict diet, the gym, and intense study without a break, the ADHD brain eventually hits a system failure. Preventing that crash is the entire goal of UnStuck. Imagine your brain is at the center of a storm. Icons of heavy weight, textbooks, and healthy meals are spinning faster and faster until the entire system just shuts down. Every time you force yourself to do a boring task, you're paying a biological tax. Your prefrontal cortex has a limited budget, and once it's spent, you're officially bankrupt. This is why a simple sink full of dishes suddenly feels like climbing Mount Everest. It isn't laziness, it is a literal neurological shutdown that stops you in your tracks. We are told to just try harder, but you cannot jumpstart a car that is completely out of gas. You do not need more willpower, you need a better refueling ADHD brain is essentially a dopamine-seeking missile. If your routine is all work and no play, your brain eventually views your life as a threat to its own survival. A cheat day is not a failure of character or a lack of discipline. It is a calculated bribe that keeps the lizard brain quiet so the logical brain can stay in control. Strict routines naturally spike your cortisol, which is the body's primary stress hormone. A pre-planned break acts as a pressure release valve, flushing that stress out of your system. There is a massive psychological difference between sneaking a break and authorizing one. One creates a cycle of guilt, while the other creates a cycle of recovery. By giving yourself permission to be unproductive, you actually protect your long-term productivity. You're giving the brain exactly what it needs to keep going. I am speaking from experience because, honestly, I was just in a massive slump myself. My routine evaporated, my gym shoes gathered dust, and I felt completely paralyzed by my own expectations. In an ADHD brain, a small slip-up often turns into a month-long disappearance. The shame of being off track becomes the very thing that keeps us from getting back on. I did not restart my life by promising to be perfect this time. I restarted by promising to be good enough for 4 days, with a massive reward waiting for me on the 5th. The moment I scheduled my cheat day, the Mount Everest task started looking like small hills again. I finally had a finish line that my brain could actually see. This decision changed the chemistry of my week. Instead of fighting myself to quit, I started negotiating with myself to finish because the freedom was guaranteed. Most people make the mistake of choosing a Sunday for their cheat day. This usually creates a sloth hangover that makes Monday morning feel like a physical assault. The real pro tip is to pivot to a midweek cheat, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. These days have built-in commitments that keep you grounded even while you indulge. Try to practice what I call a controlled burn. Eat the donut while your laptop is still open, or watch your favorite show while your gym clothes are ready, laid out for tomorrow. This logic applies to so much more than just the food you eat. You can cheat on your screen time, your strict budget, or even your social expectations. The goal is to identify the area where you feel the most friction and briefly remove that pressure. You're not resting your body, you're recalibrating your Success for a neurotypical person might look like a straight line, but for us, it looks like a pulse. It is a rhythm of high intensity followed by high quality intentional trust. If you're watching this right now and feeling stuck, know that you're not alone. We are building a toolkit for brains that were never meant to follow boring instructions. You're not a robot, and you should stop punishing yourself for not acting like one. You are a biological system that thrives on variety and strategic breaks. By mastering the art of intentional break, You stop surviving your routine and start owning it. You are learning to move with your brain, not against it. So work hard, cheat smarter, and always remember to stay unstuck.